Hey guys, it's Coaster Confusion here. We have reached the final episode of If I Owned a Theme Park. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I highly recommend. So to continue with this introduction, think about some of the best rated parks and coasters out there. You're probably thinking Velocicoaster or X2 or I-305 or something along those lines. But what makes Velocicoaster so attractive to both enthusiasts and the general public alike? Here is the last and final episode of If I Owned a Theme Park theming. So now, I'm just going to name some parks and you think of which parks have the best theming. Ready? Six Flags America, Cedar Point, Fantasialand, Hershey Park, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Disneyland, Kings Island, Nickelodeon Universe in New Jersey, Universal Orlando, and Schwalben Park. You better have said yes to that last one. You're probably thinking, of course Six Flags America has the lowest effort for theming, and even though Cedar Point and Kings Island have some great roller coasters, they lack theming that some other parks do. Busch Gardens Williamsburg looks like a well-themed park with a lot of attention to detail, but Pantheon is a different story. So here I've made a park map. Nothing is to scale here, I did a terrible job at the drawings. I've divided the park into sections, themed to different states in New England: Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine. I'll go over each section individually. Let's start off with Connecticut. First off, we have Warrior Woody, a Gravity Group family wooden coaster that is similar to Wooden Warrior at Quasi Amusement Park. This type of ride looks like it's great for coaster enthusiasts and families alike. Next up we have Connecticut Mountain Dash, a terrain wooden coaster manufactured by Great Coasters International. We also have a raft ride called Connecticut River Rush, and lastly, a Skyrocket 2 called Temperature Swing because of how unpredictable New England's weather can be sometimes. Moving on to Rhode Island, which is the kids section of the park, we have an E&F Miler kiddie coaster called Ocean State Race, along with a Small State Speedway, a Zamperla Junior coaster. There will also be a dark ride themed to some of the mansions that you can tour in Rhode Island. There will also be plenty of flat rides for kids, including a carousel. Along with this section, in the mountains, there's an alpine coaster, a toboggan slide, and a family zipline. This section also has the chairlift up to the mountain ziplines. The next state is Vermont. This state will include 3 coasters. We have Green Mountain, the B&M Hyper because Vermont is known for the Green Mountain Range. Foliage Flight is the Batman clone, and this coaster represents the New England fall foliage. And lastly, we have Maple Syrup Madness, an Intamin Blitz coaster. If you think the names are getting weird, just remember Good Gravy exists. There will be a gift shop in the exit of the coaster, so make sure to pick up some fresh maple syrup. New Hampshire will be the water park. This will include a variety of water slides, a wave pool, a beach, zip lines, cliff jumping, and much more. It's the perfect place to be on a hot day in the middle of winter. Next up, Massachusetts has 3 roller coasters. Cranberry Craze is the B&M Floorless coaster. I mean, who doesn't love some fresh Ocean Spray cranberry juice? Elevation Plunge is the Gerstlauer Eurofighter, and Massachusetts Mayhem is the RMC iBox coaster. Now, I have one more state, and I'll give you 5 seconds to guess it. Did you guess Maine? I gave Maine 2 roller coasters, Axis Adrenaline, an S&S Axis coaster, and Mighty Maine, an Intamin Giga coaster. We've also got 2 drop towers, one S&S and one Intamin. Some other things separate from the park are hotels. We have the Pine Tree Log Cabins and the Nutmeg Hotel. I know that not every single flat rider attractions I explained in a previous episode isn't on here, but this is just the layout of the park. If you ever get bored of picking apples, or just being in New England, here's a place to go. New England Thrills Central. If any of you are wondering where this park will be located, I don't know, and I'll leave it up to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my first series. If you're looking forward to more, just leave some feedback, which is always appreciated. Make sure to subscribe to Coaster Confusion for more coaster content, and remember, be you and keep riding coasters.